guys, welcome to my channel. Myself, Dr. Vijaya Lakshmi. I am here today to talk to you about very basic things about my preparation. First of all, is it possible to clear this exam? Talking about FMGE, before I cracked this exam, I always thought it is impossible to clear or it is really difficult. Trust me, it is difficult, but is it doable? 100% it is doable. If I have passed this exam, so can you pass the exam. When should you ideally start the preparation? The right answer would be to start as soon as possible. Irrespective of whichever country you're studying in, whichever year you're in, or how much ever knowledge you have already gained, start your preparation as soon as possible. Recently, in our paper that was held in the January 2025, we realized that the paper is not going to be similar to the previous papers, which consists of only previous year questions. No, that is not how the paper has been set. The paper consists of concept building questions and critical thinking, and a little bit of knowledge is supposed to be present in the person who sits for the FMGA exam. How could you do it from your university level? The best way is to attend all the classes with deep dedication, do a little bit of topic wise studies just before you go to the class. Any amount of studying and gaining knowledge will be useful on the day of your examination. Whenever my seniors told me to do a little bit of study, I would always think, will I be able to remember this on the day of my exam? Probably not. But will that help as a building stone to build my concepts for the day of exam? It definitely will. And I think my approach to FMG was a little different. For me, it was always about gaining knowledge and building concepts, which eventually helped me to clear the exam. So, the answer to when to start is you should right away start today and now and do any sort of preparation. And the next question that was asked was how to study. So that really depends from person to person, but the best way about how to study would be to build your concepts. Build your concepts in such a way that it stays in your mind and it is somewhere present in you consciously, subconsciously. What happens when you revise a topic repeated number of times? For example, you learn how a particular drug works and then you obviously forget about it because it's not possible to remember everything in the same way. After a week, you again brush back thinking, yeah, it was related to this part and this was getting activated because of which this drug is able to work. You will build a base which will stay with you forever. And trust me, this is how studying should work because it is one, it's going to make your preparation phase so much easier. You will be able to grasp the concepts and the topics so easily, and it will retain in you for a very longer duration of time. And talking about the duration that I spent, so I would like to divide it into pre-dedicated and dedicated phase. Pre-dedicated phase was all throughout my MBBS. Uh, After not getting a seat in India, of course, when you go to any of the countries, Ukraine, China, Philippines, anywhere, you get this enthusiasm inside you that you know what, I'm going to prove myself here. I'm going to study hard. So that part is called the pre-dedicated phase. Everybody of us had that gush to study in the first year. We all studied a lot in the first year, and then we just slowed it down in all the other years. So in whichever year you are right now in, try to study a little bit every day. Try to just build uh, tiny topics, make a small flow chart, stick it in a textbook, stick it in your notebook, and then just look at it multiple times. And the pre-dedicated era was, I think it began a lot more in uh, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and sixth year. And I studied in Ukraine. So in Ukraine, we have this exam called Croc exam. We have Croc 1 in third year and Croc 2 in sixth year. That was also a very important stage of my dedicated or the pre-dedicated phase because I had to push myself to study to clear those exams. That eventually gave me the strength to sit and concentrate for longer durations. Dedicated phase, I would say from August till December. This was a very crucial phase of my life. I studied a lot. I took very little holidays. I would study every single day and sit at one place, concentrate, listen to the lectures, comprehend it, keep it in my brain, and then try to reproduce it in the questions that I solved. So, dedicated phase was somewhere around roughly 5 months. Even in these 5 months, you need to do maximum question solving. I think everybody, when they are in the race to finish, they would know all the concepts, they would know the topics, they would know everything about it except the skill to actually solve a question. And I think even in my NEET UG, this is the thing that I had. I was super good at concepts. I was brilliant at college. I knew everything by heart. But when it came to actually question solving skill, I think I lacked that. So that mistake, I corrected it during my FMG preparation. Every day I would solve 10 questions, 15 questions, 25, 30. In the last few days, I developed a habit of just solving questions on and on. It would be like 200 per day, 300 per day. There is no goal to solving number of questions. Don't run behind it. I heard so many people telling me that every day you need to solve 300 questions, otherwise you will not be able to clear. I think for me, it did not work that way. There were days when I've just solved 10 questions per day, and there have been days where I've solved 500 questions per day. In short, the number of questions don't matter. The way you solve them, the way you analyze the mistakes you have done, the way you feed the material and feed the knowledge into your head, that is what matters. So do not run behind these numbers which say sit for 6 hours, sit for 8 hours. No. What I would like to suggest you is sit for 1 hour but with full concentration. 6 hours of just sitting and getting distracted is equal to not studying. So you need to make this very clear in your head that the dedicated period of time is more important than the distracted phase. I think this that's all for today's video. If you have any more questions about my preparation or about the schedule I followed, my timetable, my GTs, anything, put it down in the comment below so that I will come back to you and reach out to you with another video. Hope you find this helpful. Bye bye.